Have you ever thought that an ordinary Lincoln penny sitting in your wallet could actually be a hidden treasure? Coins that have passed through countless hands over the years without anyone realizing that during the minting process, small, silent mistakes were made, mistakes that today collectors value like gold. In the past, people spent these pennies as simple 1-cent coins. In the present, experts place those same coins under magnifiers and evaluate them for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars. And in the future, the coin sitting in your pocket right now might be part of that list. Welcome to USA Old Coins, where we uncover the hidden secrets inside everyday coins. In today's video, we are going to explore 3 specific Lincoln pennies that look completely normal, but if you learn how to identify them, you might be able to pull a small fortune straight out of your pocket. Make sure you watch this video until the end because with each coin, I will show you exactly what experts look for. If you are interested in rare coins, mint errors, and hidden value, like this video, comment below which penny you have, and subscribe to USA Old Coins so you never miss valuable coin information. Now let's begin and reveal the dates. The first coin is one that most people would casually overlook without a second thought. At first glance, it appears ordinary, just another small piece of copper passing through countless hands in everyday transactions. But if you take a closer look, if you truly examine it with patience and curiosity, you'll realize that this coin holds far more than meets the eye. It carries within it a story, almost like a living documentary, where every scratch, every design detail, and every year stamped into its surface represents a deeper meaning. This is the 2006 Lincoln Penny, a modern coin that, despite its recent origin, holds a surprisingly special place in the world of collectors. The year 2006 was an interesting period in the United States, marked by economic shifts and cultural transitions. During this time, millions upon millions of these pennies were minted and released into circulation. On the surface, they all seemed identical, mass-produced, uniform, and insignificant. But the truth is, not every 2006 penny is the same. Hidden within these countless coins are subtle differences, rare variations, and unique characteristics that only a careful observer can detect. The design of the coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of strength, unity, and enduring history. This portrait has remained a constant on the penny for decades, representing stability in an ever-changing world. However, the real intrigue begins when we shift our attention to the mint marks. The 2006 Lincoln Penny was produced at 3 different mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these locations stamped its own identity onto the coin, creating small but meaningful distinctions. For most people, these mint marks are just tiny letters, easy to ignore. But for collectors, they are the beginning of a much deeper story. Some coins from these mints carry subtle imperfections, tiny anomalies that transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Imagine holding a penny that looks completely normal, yet upon closer inspection reveals slight doubling in the letters, or a fine crack in the die that created it. These small imperfections are not flaws in the eyes of collectors, they are treasures. In fact, certain 2006 pennies have been reported with fascinating die errors. In some cases, the lettering appears slightly shifted, almost as if it were printed twice. In others, you might notice an unexpected line across Lincoln's face, an unusual mark that wasn't part of the original design. These details are easy to miss, but once discovered, they can dramatically increase the coin's value. What was once worth a single cent can suddenly become worth hundreds of dollars, simply because of a tiny, accidental detail. Condition plays a crucial role as well. A heavily circulated coin, worn down from years of use, may only hold its face value, or perhaps just slightly more. But a coin in mint state condition, one that appears as if it just left the mint, can be worth significantly more. A pristine 2006 Lincoln Penny might sell for anywhere between $5 and $50, depending on its quality. And if that same coin also features a rare error, its value could easily climb to $200 or beyond. This is where the difference between an ordinary person and a collector becomes clear. One sees spare change, while the other sees hidden potential. What makes this coin truly fascinating is the lesson it carries. It reminds us that not everything valuable is immediately obvious. Sometimes, the most ordinary objects hide the most extraordinary stories. The 2006 Lincoln Penny teaches us that history is not limited to ancient artifacts or centuries-old relics. Even modern coins, the ones we use every day, are quietly becoming the antiques of the future. And that leads to an important question. Have you ever really looked at the coins in your possession? Not just glanced at them, but truly examined them? It's entirely possible that among your everyday change lies a coin with a hidden story, a rare detail, or an unexpected value. This isn't just a piece of currency, it's a fragment of a much larger narrative, a documentary that continues to unfold with every passing day. Somewhere out there, perhaps even in your own pocket, a small copper coin is waiting to be discovered, not for its face value, but for the story it carries and the mystery it holds. The second coin carries with it a mystery that has puzzled collectors and experts for years. This is the 1995 Lincoln Penny, a coin that has gained worldwide attention for one very specific reason: its famous double die error. This wasn't just a minor mistake or a barely noticeable flaw. It was a striking minting anomaly that immediately caught the attention of those who knew what to look for, and over time, it became one of the most talked about modern coin errors in U.S. history. At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln Penny looks completely ordinary. It has the same familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the same size, the same copper tone, and the same overall design that millions of people have seen countless times before. Nothing about it seems unusual when you casually hold it in your hand. But the moment you take a closer look, especially if you examine it under magnification, you begin to notice something strange. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" don't appear as clean and sharp as they should. Instead, they show a clear doubling effect, as if the letters were stamped twice with a slight shift. This is not a trick of the light or a simple visual illusion. It is a genuine double die error, caused during the minting process when the coin die itself became misaligned during production. As a result, every coin struck with that die carried this distinct doubling feature. And this is where the mystery truly begins. One of the biggest questions surrounding the 1995 double die penny is how such a noticeable error managed to pass through the minting system and enter circulation in such large numbers. Typically, mint errors, especially ones this visible, are caught early during quality control. They are removed, destroyed, or corrected before they ever reach the public. But in this case, a significant number of these coins slipped through unnoticed and were released into everyday circulation. This unexpected release turned the coin into something much bigger than just a mint error. It became a nationwide treasure hunt. Suddenly, people from all walks of life began checking their spare change. Coin jars were emptied, old piggy banks were opened, and collections were revisited with a new sense of excitement. Everyone wondered the same thing. Could they be holding one of these rare coins without even realizing it? The value of the 1995 Lincoln Penny depends almost entirely on this doubling feature. A standard 1995 penny without any error is generally worth only its face value. But if it is confirmed to be the double die variety, its value increases dramatically. Depending on its condition, these coins can sell for anywhere from $20 to $500 or even more. Coins in mint state condition, those that are nearly flawless and show minimal signs of wear, can command even higher prices in the collector's market. But the true excitement of this coin isn't just about money. The real thrill lies in the discovery. There's a unique feeling that comes from examining an ordinary coin and suddenly realizing that it's something rare, something special. It transforms a simple, everyday object into a piece of history, a hidden artifact that was quietly circulating among millions of others. It feels less like collecting and more like uncovering a secret, like solving a mystery that has been waiting for you to notice it. The 1995 Lincoln Penny teaches a powerful lesson. Sometimes, imperfections are what make something truly valuable. In a world where perfection is often admired, this coin stands as proof that flaws can carry the greatest significance. What appears to be a mistake can actually be a story, one that adds depth, intrigue, and worth. And perhaps the most fascinating part of all is this. Even today, these coins are still out there. They can still be found in circulation, mixed in with ordinary change, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. That means the mystery isn't over. The hunt is still alive. So the next time you come across a handful of pennies, take a moment to look a little closer. Because hidden among them could be a coin that defies expectations, a coin that proves that even the smallest detail can turn something ordinary into something unforgettable. The most shocking moment comes when you come across a perfectly clean, mint-state 2004 Lincoln Penny, one that appears flawless, with no visible scratches, no wear, and no obvious imperfections. At first, it may not seem like anything special. After all, it's not an ancient coin, not made of silver or gold, and not something most people would consider rare. But this is exactly where the surprise begins. When a 2004 Lincoln Penny is preserved in high-grade condition, sharp details, original luster, and virtually untouched surfaces, its value can rise far beyond its 1-cent face value. Coins like these, depending on their grade, can sell anywhere from $10 to $100. And if that same coin happens to carry a rare mint error, something subtle like a die crack, off-center strike, or another anomaly, its value can jump dramatically, reaching $500 or even more in the right market. But here's where the real twist lies. Most people completely ignore these coins. Because they're relatively modern, many assume they hold no real value. They pass through hands every day, dropped into jars, spent without thought, or left forgotten in drawers. People tend to believe that only very old coins are worth collecting, and that anything from the early 2000s is too recent to matter. And because of that assumption, countless valuable coins slip by unnoticed, hidden in plain sight. Now imagine this for a moment. Sitting in your wallet, mixed in with ordinary change, is a coin you've never taken the time to examine. You've handled it, spent it, maybe even dropped it on the ground without a second thought. But what if that very coin had the potential to surprise you one day? What if something you've overlooked 100 times turned out to be worth far more than you ever expected? This isn't just a possibility, it's something that actually happens. Every single day, people unknowingly spend coins that collectors would eagerly pay for. Somewhere, someone is discovering a hidden gem in their pocket change, while someone else is letting one go without ever realizing what they had. The 2004 Lincoln Penny delivers a simple yet powerful lesson. Never judge something solely by its surface value. What appears ordinary at first glance may hold hidden depth, history, and significance. Every coin tells a story, through its design, its year, its condition, and even its imperfections. And sometimes, the most surprising discoveries are the ones we almost ignore completely. It challenges the way we look at everyday objects. It asks us to slow down, to pay attention, and to question assumptions. Because value isn't always obvious, it often hides in the details, waiting for someone curious enough to notice. And now, the question becomes yours to answer. Will you continue to treat coins as nothing more than spare change, something to spend and forget? Or will you start looking at them differently, examining them, understanding them, and maybe even uncovering a hidden story of your own? Because the next time you reach into your pocket, you might not just be holding a coin, you might be holding a surprise waiting to be discovered.